This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I did this painting yesterday and I wanted to show you guys the Colourarte Prizm pour and primary elements, how they dry, because they are slick like glass when you add the Jo Sonja gloss varnish to the mix. I have, instead of that, some cat hairs. Can tell when the cat sneaks in my studio. I have pre-primed with, and I have to wipe it off again, with Midnight Shadow a couple times. I hope the towel wasn't dirtier than the canvas was. And it's been sitting there waiting for me to be inspired for a week. And that painting sort of inspired me. I want to put Escape across one side of it. I think I'll take the part that's dirtiest. Try and get the dust off. I'm going to lay down Prizm pour and primary elements and maybe some blingets. Starting with some French silk. And then I will lay other colors on top and I will swipe through them. And I'm thinking about putting a silver moon in the sky and some silver trees. And anything that looks like a star is of course a star. Now, because my canvas is dry, I'm not going to try and move this everywhere. I just want it in the bottom. I'm hoping I guessed my colors right. I played with a few combinations before we started. So I'm going to go for my basic Fandango, which is a Prizm pour, as was the Chantilly lace. Oh, that was French silk. Still Prizm pour. I've got some Royal Sapphire. I am going to add a little bit of True Silver. And I'm sort of waiting for the moment when I get to having enough paint to swipe through. This is Deep Crimson. This is from one of the new sets, Deserted Island or Tropical Waters. I don't know if I want a lot of that, but I want a little for sure. I just remembered I was going to do my sky first. Okay, well, we're going to try and do sky afterwards. That should be interesting. This is Plum Blossom. That's supposed to go in the sky. Hopefully I'll leave some to go in the sky. I kind of want to do that right now. This is a mix of sour lemon that I have added a little bit of orange to. It used to be Orange Crush. Now it was Orange Unicorn Spit, which is a wood stain. I don't believe it matters what orange you use to color this. If you want to get this color, I don't know of a color similar yet. Although there is Gold-P.P, which is kind of similar. I lost and found my Baltic Amber. Which makes me, for some reason, instantly think of deep amethyst, and I have no idea why. I could have left some more gaps. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of Emperor's Gold, which is basically a shade lighter than the deep amber, which is perfect. But I am going to be looking for and finding my deep amethyst, because for whatever reason, that's calling me. I've got something called Wild Orchid from the new mixes too, and I think that's going to... I gotta say one thing, that the dark blue canvas definitely attracts dust. Excuse me. Now here's my Wild Orchid, which usually makes me pretty happy. I'm going to want to add a little bit more blue, I can tell. But the Wild Orchid is definitely the star of my shows. So what else? I said a little bit of blue. We have the new blue. I have a choice between Agave blue. I think Agave blue. Although the Egyptian blue is calling me. I think Agave blue is perfect. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Alright, I'm going to leave that puddle for a minute. I'm going to grab my spatula and I'm going to try and do something with the sky. And it better be quick, is all I can say. I think I'm going to start with using Interference Violet. Once I get the top completely open. I know that my friend Leslie Olmsted, the owner of Colourarte, has mentioned many times recently that the interferences look awesome on black. So I haven't gotten around to that, although I did plan on it. Ooh, I'm going to sneak in a little bit of this marooned. And then I'm going to sneak in some Plum Blossom. I wish I'd quit dropping paint chips. And I'm doing this upside down, of course. And what else did I have? I'm not sure about the French silk. Whatever I had, I forgot. Alright, so here goes nothing. Really? No, I'm going to put a little tiny dab of Carnival in there because I like a red sky. Carnival is a primary element. And I have not done anything quite like this before. I really could have used something. I completely lost that train of thought. Something like Chantilly lace, I think I was going to say. And this is obviously Surreal, very stylized. We hope it turns out stylized anyway. I forgot the blue. Okay, I'm going to put it in. I have Snapdragon, which I believe is a primary element. Let me check how that looks out. Let's give it some in the middle just because. Not happy with that. Okay. Kind of wish I had put some spirals in there like Starry Night. I'm going to have to go down here if I want to use the scribblings on my spatula. Can she work as well upside down? I guess I'm just going to cover right over the blue. So much for 2 coats. It'll probably be prettier with a moon. Get rid of the line of demarcation from that edge. Alright, it's time to get on with the bottom. Not sure what that is, but it's got to go. The interference that looks white now will probably look something different. I kind of want to add some Chantilly lace. Or maybe even, yes, okay, I've got some frosted berry from yesterday. Throw in a few clouds. We'll check this out first. I've got a little tiny spatula. No, that didn't work. Obviously I'm going to have to get moving. but I don't mind how that looks either. By the seat of her pants. Definitely wanted something lighter in that sky, and I hope I just got it. There, I kind of like that. I can knock off any paint I've got on the edge. Go right around. Okay, so now it's time to get busy, and I'm going to try and swipe in the bottom, and I don't know if I can put trees in, just basically because the paint might be heavy. Oh, I've got a drip on my paddle. These are acetate tools. If I don't remember to include them in the description, please just ask me. That's got Aussie Floetrol in it, and that was iridescent rich gold from P.E., and some Atelier rich gold also. I'm going to put black in there as well. Sort of spread that around. Come back again and do it all over. I have different size tools, and I pulled out, as you can see over here, some palette knives too. Let's try, I'm going to go for the purple. Oh, and I didn't even get it out. I might be tempted to blow into this also because there are so many beautiful colors under there. Pull some of these out at the edge. I think I'm going back to the white. I'm not going to wipe any paint off on my rag. White first. We'll try the white first and the gold second this time. I'm going to come in from the other direction. Now hopefully the Amsterdam white is going to create some cells. I'm not seeing it happen. It doesn't mean it's not going to. I've got another container of white. Maybe I better use it, or maybe I better blow into this one. Maybe I'll grab a straw. There's a straw. Let's see what happens. I've often had to go back and double swipe. I am going to knock off this paint right down here. Blow into it. I don't think I'll hurt anything by doing that. Maybe it's time to use a smaller palette knife. And the black. I usually use, and I think I will use, some of the Mayan gold added to the black. Or white. Either way. Oh, the cells are beginning to come up. Yay. I'm liking the combinations. I think I'm going to do that again. Start with the black at least. Risk some more of the white. And finish with that Mayan gold, which is a Prizm pour. basically feel like I'm just spreading the paint to the edge of the canvas, and that's okay because I use GAC 800 by Golden in all of my paint mixes, and that keeps it from cracking. It's expensive, but it's a worthwhile investment. So that's pretty cool so far. I wish I had a little more green over here, and that can be easily remedied by putting a little more green over there. There's a dragon on the horizon. Not for long though, I gotta say. I'm gonna run out of time before I put trees in. If I even get a chance to put trees in. I'm liking how that black looks. That might be my favorite so far. I didn't save anything at the bottom. I'd still like to put a moon in, but I'd have more success putting a moon in after tomorrow than I ever could now. I'm going to throw some white on there too, even though it looks like there's some white right in here. Good colors. Now, I suppose if I was really feeling frisky, I could try for some trees, but I think I'm just going to want to give the impression of mountains in the background. And I'm loving those colors. I wasn't sure, but I'm loving them now. Okay, so now I have a little dish I put aside, and I think I have enough of a dry canvas down there so that if I'm quick, I can put some trees in. I so want to put a moon in there. I don't think it's a good idea. There's my true silver. Here are my little tiny cards I cut of acetate, three different sizes. This size, and that size. So I'm going to start by making sure my marks aren't too fat. I think the next size down is going to be the better one. Doesn't matter if you get a little blob, it's just going to be in place of the foliage. That seems to have a curve in it. Maybe I'll just use the other side. Get my fingers painty. Still a little paint from below. Because I can. Here's my little tiny piece. Often seeing silver trees in the moonlight. And I will keep working on them, so I should probably tell you now, I love you. I have over 2,800. I have over 2,700 videos. I'm working on a 2,800 list right now. I find if I want to have it look like foliage, and I have a good paintball on the end of my skewer, or maybe not in this case, maybe less, I'm just going to add dots. That's going to pretend to be foliage. And I can even add dots on the horizon to pretend to be little trees too. That way they look like they're leading off into the distance. I kind of like how the sky turned out. And then you just drag them sideways. Just a little poke with a stick. Poke it with a stick. Priscilla told me to. So that's pretty cool. And I could probably put some more trees in. I might put some in over here. Might as well. There's a bubble there. Sometimes you can pull trees up. From beneath.